Parmigiani Fleurier, 20 years of exceptional mechanical watchmaking. A manufacturer that makes all its creations entirely within its walls, through a watchmaking division that supplies the movements, dials and other complications, all under the aegis of the Sandoz Foundation. This foundation manages the Edouard Marcel Sandoz collection, one of the most impressive collections of Swiss pocket and automatic watches, on which Michel Parmigiani exercised his talent as a restorer. Unique expertise that didn't stop there. The Sandoz Foundation pushed Michel Parmigiani to create his own label under the name of Parmigiani Fleurier. It was in 1976 in Couvet in Switzerland that Michel Parmigiani began his career, opening his own workshop founded on traditional watchmaking and restoration, his greatest passion.
La restauration dans le cadre de Parmigiani est un élément fondamental.
Restoration for Parmigiani is a fundamental element. It's a bit of the soul of the house. That's where our work is from, our expertise, exploring centuries of watch heritage that has been put in our hands.
Que nous avons eu dans les mains, est passé dans mes mains à peu près 500 ans d'histoire de l'horlogerie.
And about 500 years of watchmaking history has passed through my hands. I discovered my driving force in restoration, which is the force of excellence, harmony, technicality and ingenuity.
J'ai décidé de faire ma propre marque avec l'aide de la Fondation Sandoz, bien entendu.
And when I decided to create my brand, with the help of the Sandoz Foundation, of course, it was something very strong to be able to make products the way I lived through watchmaking heritage. This is the continuation of this driving force that I wanted to transpose into something contemporary.
De ce fil rouge que je voulais transposer dans quelque chose de contemporain.
A dream come true beyond the watchmaker's wildest expectations. In 1996, the brand Parmigiani Fleurier takes flight and sets its time to fine watchmaking. 20 years later, in addition to the many models the brand will create, it's a new boutique in Paris, a gem hidden under the arches of the Galerie of the Palais Royal that presents all the stunning versions of the Swiss manufacturer. Among all the models of the Parmigiani Fleurier collections, a major piece was presented at the SIHH 2016, the Salon of Haute Horlogerie in Geneva, to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the manufacturer. The Tunda Chronor Anniversaire, Chronor meaning gold chronograph in French. A 100% manufactured caliber with integrated movements made, of course, out of gold.
This
year, for our 20th anniversary, we created the Chronor model, which is a split-second chronograph with a large date calendar. And this chronograph, with the base, called the plate, and bridges, are all solid gold. So it's a very precious movement, but not just precious because of the gold, but because of the added value we brought to it.
Two editions for this exceptional model for a total of 50 copies, rare and expensive for the most luxurious of chronographs. An integrated chronograph that is often limited to large manufacturers. The reason is simple, it's complex and that demands a substantial budget, a heavy burden for a small brand. Michel Parmigiani confirms this himself. To achieve an integrated chronograph, you must master all impressive and detailed components it comprises, not just their fabrication, but you must master their use, their function in the heart of a caliber. You must have discovered its potential and limitations. If the precious Parmigiani Fleurier timepieces surprise with their technical specification, the old pieces restored by the meticulous work and unrivaled expertise of Michel Parmigiani and his team are even more dazzling. What about this songbird that appears on a gun and who sings like it was its first day, somewhere between 1818 and 1820, even though it has undergone many alterations over time?
It's a songbird gun that has been repaired several times. It has seen some rough times and it's been modified. A few elements have disappeared that we had to recreate.
An entire investigative and documented work.
Exactement comme les archéologues, en fait.
Exactly how archaeologists work, actually. Being able to restore something like this is not something to be taken lightly. So one must have a basic amount of experience. And we benefit, obviously, from an incredible experience, since we were able to restore two that belonged to the Patek Philippe Museum. Thanks to these restorations, we could consider restoring this piece here, because we were fully informed.
Quand on fait armer le chien, on tire.
When we're arming the dog, we pull. The cover opens first. A bird comes out and stands and begins to sing and twirl on itself, synchronized with the sound. It's an incredible experience to restore something so wonderful and important. A restoration like this is unique in the world. A restoration this complex in relation to its construction, in relation to the force and energy it demanded. Note that it took us 4,000 hours of work.
Ça nous a pris quand même 4 000 heures de travail. L'intérieur, on le voit très bien sur le petit écran ici.
Inside, we see it clearly on this little screen. We can distinguish the mechanics. It's pretty impressive, and to see the result, we've restored the original bird song that's not been heard in 150 years.
Qui n'a pas été entendu depuis peut-être 150 ans.
A restoration that demonstrates the skills and knowledge of Parmigiani Fleurier. These times of crisis haven't been kind to the young manufacturer who had to lay off to hold steady, just like other Swiss watch manufacturers who saw exports drop 3.3% in 2015 to 19 billion euros for Swiss watches. Parmigiani Fleurier has seen this before, but Michel Parmigiani did not give up. It was in 1976 in a more delicate context, a crisis without precedent in the watch industry. It was during the massive influx of quartz movements from Japan that he decided to found his workshop, which soon flourished, against the advice and prognosis of all.
Of course, we continue to develop, create new products, prepare for the future, which is never too far off. Either way, as you know, after the storm, the sun always shines.
Après la tempête, il y a toujours le soleil qui brille.
With so much talent in the firm, Parmigiani Fleurier has some bright days ahead. A little manufacturer by size, but a heavy hitter in terms of quality and expertise.